All right, everybody's starting to roll in. All right, well, today, first of all, if you're brand new to the call, I'm Mark Alfono. I'm a Platinum 5 ambassador here with Vollara, and along with my wife and my 9-year-old son. So we work the business as a family. And started in, what was it, December 2020. So we're coming up on our second year. And no looking back. Okay, no looking back, no turning back. So what I want to talk to you today about is we went over last week is kind of doing a reboot for your business. Summer, there's always a slowdown, and now it's time to refocus and reboot. And for some people, it means you just need to boot. Some people never booted the first time around. So now we have an opportunity to take a look at your business, set your goals, figure out what it is you want to do. Where do you want to be this time? Wherever it is, like I heard, I saw a quote online the other day. It said, like, look at your life right now. Your life is a result of the decisions that you made 3 years ago. So rewind 3 years back, look at where you were. And the reason why you are where you are today is because you made certain decisions 3 years ago that took you to this place. So where do you want to be 3 years from now in your life? And I could care less about the vehicle to take you to that place. It's just the goal of saying, okay, this is where I want to be in the next 3 years. Okay. And really, like, you need to write it out. The Bible says, write the vision, make it plain, put it on tablets so that if you're running, you can still read it. Right. So these are things that you need to just put out there. When we left Pennsylvania, moved to Florida, it's been almost 5 years ago, right? It's been 5 years now. Wow. And but anyways, when we left here, we knew, like, we had a goal. This is our goal, was basically to graduate through Bible school. You know what I mean? It's like, didn't have much else on our plate. I needed to figure out how to make a living and different things like that. But then once we graduated, then you have to set your next set of plans. What's the next move for your life? I've been out of Bible school now for a few years, and ministry is a big thing. So what's that look like? And then business and kingdom business and different things like that. And how does that all come together? And a lot of times we want, like, instant results, right? So it's like, man, I just graduated and I need to be like Billy Graham. I need to have where's my crusade? So-and-so bought a tent and they're killing it in the ministry. They're doing this and that, and this person does this. And who cares about what these people are doing? It's about, what are you going to do? And sometimes it may take us, 3 years to actually see that fulfillment of it. It's like my friend Merlin, who I used to work with in the restaurant business. He's like probably a few years ahead of us from graduating, right? So him and his family moved from Virginia down to Florida, and then God put him on his heart to start a restaurant, which he started it, way back when I was in Bible school. And now he's traveling the world, really, and doing ministry. So I can't look at him and say, oh man, how come I'm not doing what he's doing? Well, he's got a 3-year head start on me. So where will I be in the next 3 years? I could use that as a baseline and say, this is my goal. I want to be able to have the time freedom and financial freedom to be able to travel and do things for the Lord, right? But I can't, sometimes we want it like, okay, I set the goal, but I didn't see it happen tomorrow. So then you give up on your goal, and it's like, like I said last week, people are like a moth to a light bulb, especially in network marketers. Like network marketing, it kind of attracts these people who are moth to light bulbs, right? So they're constantly jumping from opportunity to opportunity, plan to plan. And it's like, man, I'm going to try out this next greatest thing. And it's like, boop, 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 boop. And they bang their head off the light bulb for, look how great the light looks. And then all of a sudden a new light bulb appears, and they're like, oh man, I got to get over to that light bulb. And they're banging off that light bulb for a little bit. And then the new one comes up. That's not really how you're ever going to be successful. How can you be successful if you're not sticking with what you started out with? There's an old saying that says, those who stick and stay will get the pay. And it's like, you're there. Yeah, you could come into an opportunity and you could make a lot of money on the front end of it. And that's what most network marketers do, is like they'll jump in, they capitalize on the momentum, and then they jump out and they go on to the next one. But the problem is when you do that time after time after time, unless you're the guy at the top, you're really burning a lot of your friendships, relationships, and bridges and things like that, because people will eventually start to look at you and say, man, yeah, they call me every time they start one of these opportunities because they're going to make a big pile of money and I'm going to be the one who spends it. Okay. So don't get that reputation of being just a user. It's not about stepping on people to get yourself to a higher position in life and in business. It's about empowering people and lifting people up, right? So those who stick and stay will get the pay no matter what you do. Listen, there's nothing that we do, especially in this type of business, that is not good seed that we put into the ground. Okay, so you may not see instantaneous results. There's people I know people even on this training this morning, and some of you may be watching in the future, who say, well, but I called my best friend, and my best friend said they were going to come to an HHS. They were going to come out, they were going to meet with me, and then they totally blew me off. How many of you ever been there, right? You got, you reach out, and like me and Dan were talking about that the other day. It's like, you reach out to somebody and then they ghost you, right? Who cares? I mean, literally, you can't worry about that. Like, you got to be so busy going on to the next person that you almost forget about the person that you reached out to. And then all of a sudden you get like this light bulb goes off in your head and you say, oh man, I forgot I reached out to Dan 6 months ago and I followed up with him twice, but I didn't hear from him. I'm going to reach back around to him because I'm so busy plowing on to the next, person or the next event or whatever it is, right? So nothing that we do is for nothing. Yeah, everything that we do in this business is a step forward. It's planting a seed, and now it's a matter of calling on to that seed. So the only time you're really going to mess up, you hear me, Christina? The only time you're really going to mess up is if you plant a seed and then you don't water the seed and you just neglect the seed and then the seed dies. Okay. So the idea is you want to get it to where you're constantly dripping back over these things, but you're putting new seeds in the ground every day. Okay. Does that make sense? So my wife said, what scripture do you have for today? Well, here's the one the Lord just gave me, and it comes out of Luke 9:62. And let me see. Let's do the New Living Translation. Let me see, who do we got here? Somebody just come on. It says, Luke 9:62 says, but Jesus told him, anyone who puts a hand to the plow and then looks back is not fit for the kingdom. Now, obviously, that's like, hey, look, if I'm in, I'm in, right? So anybody who puts their hand to the plow and then starts looking this way and looking that way is really not fit for this type of business, right? If you're going to commit to it, just commit to it and say, this is my commitment. This is the level I'm willing to commit at. And this is the length of time that I'm willing to put into it. And then just do it. It's kind of like when my wife and I do weight loss, because it's one of these things where like, hey, I always had an issue with my weight, and I was as high as 300 pounds for a while. And, but then when I got serious about it and I said, okay, I'm going to do a plan. I know this plan's going to work. I've seen the track record of it, but I have to commit to at least 40 days to lose 40 pounds. Okay. So I was focused. It's like if I would have done 10 days and then stopped, I would be in way worse position than I was when I started. You know what I mean? Because it's like your body has to adjust and there's things that have to happen. So if I would have gone in 3 days, for example, 3-4 days into a plan, and then just got, I can't do it, and quit, I would actually be worse off than if I would have never started it, right? If I would have gone, maybe, there's a breaking point. So like, let's say if I hit 21 days or 30 days and I quit, whatever. But if you don't come off of it right, then everything that you did is for nothing, right? So whenever I get into it, I said to myself, look, is it worth it for me? I had a goal. Okay. So when COVID hit, I got really big on baking bread. I mean, I was like making sourdough bread every day. And what?
How many days do I have it?
So anyway, I was baking bread, and so like every week I would make 2 big giant loaves of bread or whatever, 4 loaves of bread, and we ate it all. And it was just my wife and I really. And so it was really good though. And I got on a mission to make, I mean, I was just doing it. But the problem was I increased my capacity for bread, which means I gained like a lot of weight. So I got, for me personally, I was down to like 220 pounds. I got like 260 pounds because of COVID. I gained the COVID-19. Okay, is what I used to tell everybody. And so how many of you gained the COVID-19? But then whenever I said, that's it, I'm done with this thing. And I knew that I wanted to hit a certain goal. So to hit that goal, I need to lose 80 pounds. Well, you can't lose 80 pounds in 40 days, right? So I knew I had to commit for about a 6-month period of very focused effort on this is what I'm going to do. And then I took a break. So I did 40 days, took 6 weeks off, did 40 days, took 8 weeks off, did 21 days, took 10 weeks off, and then, so basically I started at Easter time. And after the first 40 days, I was down 40 pounds, started to feel great. I was 220 pounds, did another round. I was at like 190 pounds, did another round. I was at 180. And once I got in 180s, 190s, I started to feel great. And then it became easy. Now it's like, hey man, if I need to lose 10 pounds, I can focus in for 10 days, lose 10 pounds, but then I hit my goal. So what does that have to do with Vollara? What it is that you have to be extremely focused on what you do. Those who stick and stay will get the pay. Don't worry about everything else that's going on around you. Listen, one of the biggest mistakes you can make in this business is, for example, let's say you work a trade show, okay? You walk through the trade show and then you start to look at all these booths around you and you go, wow, the salad master booth is so busy. I'm going to quit Vollara and become a salad master rep. That's stupid. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. I chose to be the Vollara rep. I want people to walk past my booth and say, man, look at the Vollara booth. They're having so much fun over there. And it looks like a great opportunity and people are buying the product. I want to join that business. That's what you want to be. You want to be the one who attracts people to you. So stop looking at all these different shiny lights that come down the path and say, look, this is the one that I've chosen. Now, a lot of you have a real job, which is fine. And I do things, hey, we all got things, right? Everybody's got a side hustle. This is 2020, whatever year we're in, 2022. And if you don't have something on the side, you're crazy. This could be your side business, right? Maybe you have a job, your job's paying you well, but with inflation, things have gone up. So you've implemented Vollara as your side hustle, right? This is what I'm going to do on the side to fill the gap of where we're losing money because of inflation, right? So, hey, no, everything's nuts right now. An extra $2,000 a month could level the playing field for most people to get us back to where, hey, who cares what the price of gas is and eggs and beef and stuff like that, because I have a side business that's filling that gap so that I can have it, right? Now, maybe some of you, your finances are great, but maybe there's no extra at the end of the day where you say, well, I'd like to take a trip. If you're a ministry, man, I'd like to do a missions trip, but it's going to cost an extra couple $1,000 and I need to take 10 days off. Maybe like for us, like we'd like to take our son to places like Disney and things like that. So if that's you, then what you want to do is you say, okay, this is my side business. So this is the goal that I have. Is your goal to make an extra $2,000 a month so that you can have a great vacation at the end of this year? Okay. So you figure if you're making great money and that extra $2,000 a month will pay you an extra $12,000, what kind of vacation can you take for an extra $12,000? Okay. Can you get a really nice Airbnb or VBRO or whatever it is on the greatest beach and whatever, go to an island somewhere, get a beach house, have your family come, You know, maybe for you, it's like, hey, I really want to get a new car. I'm tired of driving the car that I'm driving, but I need a great down payment on it, or I want to just pay cash for it. So if I can take and make a goal that says, okay, this car cost me $36,000. I have 12 months that I want to accumulate $36,000. I need to make an average of 3,000 extra dollars a month. Yeah, 3,000 extra per month. And I'm not going to touch that 3,000. It's going straight into an account that earns interest. And at the end of this 12 months, I'm going to walk into the car dealership with $36,000, write the guy a check, and have a debt-free car. Maybe that's where you are in your business. Okay. Maybe you're like myself, where, I spent the first 6 months of this business as this was my side business and I was still working. I was building my tiramisu company. I was working in a restaurant. I had other things on my plate that I was doing, and this was just my side business. And then all of a sudden it became my number one business, and it, even though like financially, it was making me more money than anything that I was doing January, February, March, April. It wasn't until like May that I cut the strings from everything and said, that's it. We're going to move full time into this business. If that's you, great. If that's your goal, is to say between now and December, I want to cut the tie from everything that I've done in life. Let's say you're a husband and wife and you're both working a full-time job. And your goal is to get one of you off the job. Okay, then set the goal and say, okay, this is what it's going to take financially for us to make that jump. What does that look like for you? Okay, so whatever that number is, this is where your goal has to be written out. Make it very clear. Okay, so for some people, it may be 5,000 extra a month, 3,000, 2,000. It might be 20,000 a month. Okay, because we all live different lifestyles. I know what I need to make it. I mean, it's great to thrive. When I thrive, I stockpile. You know what I mean? But I know what it takes. I know that if I didn't make a dime between now and the end of the year, I could pay all my bills and everything's great. But I don't want to live like that. I want to have constant income. So anyways, write it all down, put your goal. This is what I want to do. And it seems like, oh man, I don't need to do this. You do need to do it, because what's the Bible say? Make the vision, write it out, make it plain, put it on tablets. So if you're running, you'll see it, right? So once you've decided, this is my goal, you write it down. Why do you think people do vision boards? You do a vision board so that every day you're reminded of your goal. Every day when you get up, you look at that. If it's a weight loss goal, then I want to put a number. I have a number like burned into my head. Like, this is the number that's my goal. And if I'm above it, then I'm not happy with it. And I have to press in to get below it, so that if I do gain a few pounds on travel or whatever, that I'm not over to the point where it's out of control, right? So I've got that number. What is your number? Have you taken the time to say, this is where I want to be? Okay, so you have to make your goal. Take the vision, write it out. So if you haven't done it, your project is write it out. Just take some time. If you're married, sit with your spouse and say, hey, this is what do we want to do? What is your goal? I had a business years ago, and there was a certain level. Let's just call it the gold level. Like, I got to get to gold, right? Why do you want to be a gold? Well, because that's where the real money starts in this business. That means that you're getting into that 5-6 figure income, level. So in this business, this guy, he kept saying, by October, I'm going to hit gold, whatever. And I remember telling my wife, I'm like, there ain't no way this guy's going to make it to that level by October. I mean, I'm looking at his numbers and I'm like, I'm just like looking at it. But then October would come, he wasn't there. By December, I'm going to hit it. And I would look at it, I said, there's no way, because of he needs this piece and that piece. And like in my head, I'm rationalizing it, but he was just all in. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. So then what I did was I said, you know what? I'm going to beat him. So like, cause he was above me in the business. So I said, if he's going to hit it, I'm going to hit it. So we began to race, which actually pushed his momentum because I was on his team, but he made his goal like let's say he set it for October, he made it in March, and then April I hit my goal. Okay, so we both crossed the finish line because I drafted his success, just like a race car. When two race cars are racing, if one gets right up behind the other one, it can draft it and then it pulls it across the finish line. So if you're alone in the business and you don't have anybody to really get up behind and say, like, I'm going to draft this person to success. Like when I started, I had Pastor Eric, who was ahead of me in the lead car. And I had Sajid Thomas, who's behind me. And I'm getting right between those two. And I'm like, I'm going to stay right up on Pastor Eric. And Thomas was behind me, pushing me. And so all together, those three cars hit the finish line in quick order, right? So if you're alone in the business and it's just you, right? You have to ask yourself, where is it that I can get with, who do I need to recruit to push me over that line? And sometimes the lead car crashes, and then all of a sudden you are the lead car. And it happens all the time. And I look at some of my best lines in this business are 6, 7 levels deep, where you have somebody like Kim who's pushing somebody like Katerina, who's pushing somebody like, all the way up the line, huh? Yeah, who's pushing Marlene, is pushing Janet, right? So that whole line is like it's 6 levels, 7 levels deep, right? But each person in that line is pushing the person ahead of them to make them better at what they do. So how does that happen? That happened because Janet went out and recruited people, and those people recruited people, and those people recruited people, and we never got hung up on the ones that quit. The lead car crashed and burned. So what? The second car pulls up into its position, right? And so all we did was we just kept pushing the momentum. Stick with the momentum, right? So Dan, if in your business you look at your racetrack and you're the only car on the track, you're not going to have as much success as if you don't go out and start pulling other cars into the race with you, right? But I don't know anybody. I have people tell me that all the time. I don't know anybody. Well, then you need to figure out how to meet new people, So now we go into the practical side of it, right? First thing, write your vision. The second thing, you can share that with us, if you want to send us an email or text or whatever and say, this is my goal and this is what I want to hit it by. This way you have an accountability partner, right? Remember, make it plain, write it on tablets, make it so that everyone can see it. This is what my goal is. Some of you guys might be, I want to make a car bonus. Then just do it. Like, figure it out. If you don't know okay, let's put it this way. Let's say your goal is to make a car bonus. Do you know what it takes to get a car bonus? Well, that would be the first thing you want to figure out. Like, I had to read the compensation plan over and over and over again to realize that I had to be a gold. I had to maintain gold for 3 months. I needed 10,000 points. I needed to have new money coming in every month, because it's not based on old money. It's based on new people joining your business. It's that new life that keeps it going. And there's been months where I've almost missed my car bonus, but thank God we haven't. Thank God that every month we've made it. But there's literally been months where I've been out working my team in an area. Let's say I go to Pennsylvania and or even here in Florida, and I'm working with my team and I'm pressing and I'm pushing and I'm helping them do HHSs. And all of a sudden that person that I've been working with, who's eager and hungry, they go gold. Then all of a sudden all of that points become their points. And I'm like, oh man, now I'm short. I need to go out. I need to keep working. I have to keep working. I wouldn't know that if I didn't study the compensation plan, right? So if your goal is, hey, I want to make a car bonus, figure out how do you get there, okay? And then you write all that stuff down. So like I've said this from month number 2, I have goals and I don't always hit them, but my goals are to be a gold, okay, which we've done every month since January of 2021. So you want to make sure you're at least a gold on your pay level. I'm not talking about your rank and stuff like that, because some of you guys, you hit gold, you're showing up as gold, but you haven't been paid as gold for a while. Okay, so that's number 1. Make sure you're a gold. I like to make sure I get the car bonus. Then there's the 15% bonus, which is, I think you need like 12,000 points. So you want to make sure you hit that. And then the last one is, if you can do it, hit 25,000 points, because if you hit 25,000 total points, you make an extra $1,000. Now that may seem impossible for some of you. Some of you are like, well, I'm pressing in and I'm working shows and I'm doing HHSs and my best month was only 3,000 points. How am I ever going to hit 25,000? It's possible. You can do it. It's momentum. Can you do an HHS where you have 10 people come, and out of that 10, you get, some momentum? What's a HHS? It's a healthy home showcase. It's where you're inviting people out. There's free gifts. There's all these things, right? There was Arnold, what's his name, up there in Chicago, just did one and had a 5,000 point HHS. We've done 5,000 and 6,000 point HHSs. Some of you came into the business in some of those HHSs, right? So how do you do it? Okay, look at the seeds that you've got. Look at the people in your business right now, okay? I look at like the guys that just did the Ohio State Fair. If you brought in one rep, if that's all that you did, right? If you spend 10 days to bring one rep in, that one rep is who I'm hitching my wagon to. So I'm going to call that one person and say, when can we book a healthy home showcase with you? How many people can you get into your house? Because I want to help you build your business. If I'm willing to drive 2.5 hours to do a show, I'm willing to drive out to your place and do a big HHS, but you have to get me 10 people in a house. Okay, get me 10 people in a house, and get them while they're hot. Every person there is going to get a free pet refresh. You just got to get them in the door. Every person we're going to get a free pet refresh to. We need 10. You could get yourself a free laundry pure. You can get yourself a free, whatever the things are, right? The mobile unit, the laundry pure, and the AP 500. All I need you to do is get 10 people in the house. And I'll do all the work. In fact, it matters. I'll do all the work, because if you want, you just play my video, right? And now we just made a brand new video. So you'll have options, right? It's being edited, and it's going to be really good because you have multiple people doing it. It's not just going to be me. It's going to be professional sound, really nice quality. You got Pastor Eric doing a close. I'm doing a close on the business side. He does a close on the retail. So you can choose what you want to do, right? If you want to close on the business, play mine. If you want to close on the retail wholesale, close with him. But anyways, we have that. So then you take that one little spark, don't just keep going off. When you get a spark, take the time to breathe onto that spark. Hey, I got a brand new person in my business. They just joined up. That's whenever now we say, okay, let's run together. Let me get behind you. Let me help you, right? Let me get you to the goal. Let me get you over to your finish line. What is it that you want to do? Sit with that new person, have them write the goal, have them come up with a strategy. It could be that one little spark that explodes your entire business. Okay. So don't ever neglect. What's the Bible say? Don't despise the days of humble beginnings, right? So sometimes it's like, man, I did all this effort. I only got one person. And then you get all upset with yourself and you go, no, that is a major, major accomplishment, right? So get with them, run with them. Now, let's go back to the person who says, well, I don't know anybody. Well, how do you meet new people? There's groups like the BNI, right? The BNI is a great group because you can sign up for BNI. You can actually go in as a guest, right? So if I live in an area where I'm around a few other markets, hey, I could join a BNI here in Tampa, and I could join a BNI in Pittsburgh, and I could join a BNI in Washington, Pennsylvania, and I could join a BNI in Morrisdale, PA, and I could join a BNI in South Jersey, and I could join a BNI in Western New York, because a lot of these things are on Zoom now, right? And I could be the Vollara expert for 4 different chapters of the BNI coming in as a guest. Hey, I'm just coming in as a guest. I want to see what everybody else is doing. I want to pass out my business card. Okay, that's one step. Next thing is, we talk about this like doing little events, trade shows, HHSs, craft fairs, vendor fairs, things like that, right? Why do you do it? You do it to meet new people. So I'm going to do that show to make new connections and meet new people. When you go out to eat, and every restaurant has a little stack of cards at the front with the manager's information on it. Why can't you make a nice little letter that you email to the restaurant owner? Why can't you don't even go in and cold call these people. Just go into shops, go into different places, meet new people, talk to new people, get to know new people, pick up their business card, and then just make a relationship. Call them up, frequent the business, spend money at the business, spend time with the person. And then once you've gotten to a certain point, then you say, okay, listen, I've it's kind of like, I'm willing to do business with people who do business with me. So if that guy sees that, hey, he gets his haircut here, every month, he's been loyal to my business, and he's not just coming in trying to sell me something. And then when you're in the chair getting your haircut, you say to that person, oh, hey, by the way, I have a company that makes a product that you could benefit from. Really? What is it? How come you never told me about it? Right? Well, I just don't want to come in here like, you thinking that I'm just trying to sell you something. But I think this could really help you out. If you want, I could drop off a unit later on today and let you try it out for 2-3 days. And it's going to clean up the air in this place. It's going to sanitize the place. We put a little sign on the front door of the shop to let people know that they've been protected, right? And then, you know what? Let's talk about this. Hey, as a business owner, you're entrepreneurial, right? Yeah. Obviously you are, because you own your own barbershop, right? Why don't you partner with me and make this into a revenue stream? Because the people who sit in the chair, you have a captive audience for the next 45 minutes to an hour with each one. If it's a woman, it's like 6 hours, right? So why couldn't you talk to that person about this, those machines, right? Because the conversation is going to come up and they're going to look at it and they're going to go, what is that thing? Well, hey, that's Active Pure. And this is why it does what it does, and blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, I can take the sale, but why don't you partner with me in business? Now you get that sale. I'll help you. If they have questions, they can call me. If you need somebody to close the deal, I'll close the deal. Why don't you start with like a 3-pack or 5-pack, and you can actually have a stack of those things sitting here, right? If you have a stack of those units sitting here with a little for sale sign, or one says sold on it or whatever, people are going to ask about it. What is that? Can I get one for my house? Man, every time I go to the barbershop, it used to be, and I'd go in there, I was all congested, and all those chemicals give me a headache, it gave me lightheaded. But now when I go in, it's different. It's like there's fresh air in there. Okay. How about this? When you're in the barbershop and you notice that let's say the hair salon, and you notice that they're bringing towels out of a back room, because they have a washing machine in there. Well, hey, look, they're doing laundry, right? And how many of these shops now have a beverage set up, right? How many of them have a place for coffee and tea, and some of them have alcohol and different things like that? Why not have a living water for the people who come in? Hey, we have this great unit. It makes living water. It's alkaline water. So what you're saying, Mark, is that a barber shop could buy a whole house protection? Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
And the fact is, they could buy a pro pack, and then they could have one unit to sell to recoup their costs. And then now they have a major value added service. How about this one? Listen, all I'm doing, guys, I'm just throwing out ideas for you. You can use them or you don't have to use them. How about this one? In the restaurant business, I did fine dining. And one thing that we had that this is like back in the day, right? So we're talking 2000, early 2000s, 2003 to 2008, right? Like 20 something years ago. We had a water menu, a whole menu on water, right? And we had sparkling water from Italy and France and wherever, like the mountains or whatever, New York, huh? Fiji and all these different places, right? And people spend a lot of money on good water, because some people don't like to drink, right? But they still want to have an experience when they go out to a fine dining restaurant. So we say, hey, listen, what water do you like? Do you like still? Do you like sparkling? Do you like it? So why can't I go into a nice restaurant and pitch living water to them and say, listen, 99% of people who go into a restaurant get water with lemon in it, right? I mean, literally, I don't know about you. That's all I get when I go out. I want water with lemon. But you're getting junky tap water with a lemon that probably fell on the floor before they stuck in your water bottle, right? So why not have living water as an option? Oh yeah, you'd like to have water. Sure. Well, we have living water, and then have like a little spiel. Have it right on their menu, water menu, drink menu, living water. We don't have junk water. We don't have dead water at our restaurant. We have living water. Do you think that there's like health food restaurants out there that could literally sell living water as an upcharge? Because when a person comes in and they say, let me just give you this example. I'm just talking as a restaurant owner, business person, right? Somebody comes into my restaurant and they say to me, I want, and the server says to them, what can I get you for your drinks? Now, listen, what they want is, and a good server wants a big ticket. So the person's like, yeah, I just want water and lemon, you know. Well, the server wants to upsell, because like, if I just sell you water and lemon, I'm not making a tip on water and lemon because it's free. But yet I got to use a cup, I got to use a straw, I got to cut a lemon. That costs the business owner money. So as an upcharge, why couldn't I say, well, do you want tap or do you want living water? Well, what's the difference? Well, living water is it's charged, it's alive, it's living, it's like glacial spring water. It's the way God designed it to be. And you train the staff on it. And now that glass of water becomes a $2 glass of water as opposed to a free glass of water. You get 6 people to table, it's $12. You do that times 100 tables in a week or whatever it is. It's $1,200 a week. 2 weeks pays for the whole entire system. Do you think that if you pitched it to a restaurant owner, just like I just pitched it to you right now, that they could make in 2 weeks, $1,200, or in a week, $1,200 extra, right? The people are going to be happier. The water tastes better. The people who are health conscious, especially, are going to be excited about it. And you could go even as far as to have them select a pH level, right? You could have pitchers made up. They could have pitchers made up in the cooler, right? That are 7.0, 9.5, 9.0, whatever. You could have a range. I wouldn't even do 7. I'd say we have 8, we have 9 or 9.5. Which pH would you like?
How about a gym?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, how about a gym? How about anything like that? Any place that, you go to the gym, go to a hotel, they got the thing of water with some fruit floating in it, right? They didn't clean the fruit, so you got a bottle of pesticides you're just drinking, right? So why not say to that gym owner, hey, you can upsell this thing, right? You could even sell it in a bottle. Like, when somebody's there working out, if I'm a gym owner, I go out and I buy myself some nice glass bottles. In fact, if I'm the Vollara rep, why not go online and source out like places that you could buy yourself a nice glass bottle, right? I mean, I've done this before. In the restaurant business, I used to make my own spice blends. So I found a company that sold, I still have them, spice jars. I had the little thing you could hit with a heat gun to shrink wrap them. I made a label for it. So look, why couldn't we do that for a gym owner and say, hey, listen, when somebody comes into your gym, you have a little refrigerator out front. You got a guy in the back making different pH levels. Don't make 50 of them because it's gonna go south after a few days. But you maybe put like 3 out, have them all labeled up, ready to go. And then you tell the person, hey, look, if you bring back your bottle, I'll refill it for $1 or whatever.
That's great. Danielle's on the thing, her physical therapist said how much they changed since she started drinking living water.
Yeah. Thanks, Christina. So, and like, hey, you're going to see results. If I'm in the gym, I'm going to be have better hydration, more energy. I'm going to feel good at the end of my workout because I'm not drinking a bunch of acid. I'm not drinking Powerades. I'm not drinking a Bang Energy or whatever. So these are things that as a business person, and why do I think like this, guys? Because I'm in this thing for the long haul, right? I didn't join Vollara to capitalize on air. Somebody told me the other day, they said, well, I can't sell this product because it's fear driven. I've never in my life have I ever pushed fear when it came to this business. I never, ever said, I'm getting into this thing because there's fear and people got to have the air. I never, ever did that. I saw opportunity. I saw a product that everybody needed. How is doing your laundry fear-based? How is drinking water fear-based? It's just being smart. That's all there is to it. It has nothing to do with fear and everything to do with being smart. I'm tired of having sinus infections twice a year. I got to that point where 4 years ago, I'm like, man, every year, when I moved to Florida, every year I get so sick. Twice a year. My eyes would get infected. I mean, my throat, I was just a mess, right? Because of the pollen, because of the junk that's in the air here, because of whatever.
People love their pets, but some kids are allergic to them.
Yeah. So, like your pet makes you, and like, who was it the other day? It was saying that they got it was Robia in training was saying that the people, he went in, he was pitching all this stuff about healthy living and the people were chain smoking. And he's thinking like, man, there's people are going to be a no brainer. They're going to buy it because they smoke and the house stinks and this and that. It turns out that they wanted to buy the machine because their dog wheezes because of all the smoke that's in the air. Has nothing to do with them and everything to do with the pet, right? So he's got to hit somebody's hot button. So anyways, not fear driven, it's common sense, right? So start making a list of things like that, guys. Think outside of the box, places that you can approach and come in with something. Like our pastor always says, if there's a problem, don't go in with, I have a problem. You go in with, this is the problem. Here are 3 solutions for you. Okay. So never approach my church, my pastor with a problem. Well, Pastor Rodney, we got a problem. Like, parking lot's a mess and people don't know where to park. No, you come in, you say, hey, listen, we've grown. Parking's become an issue, but I have a history of setting up parking lots. I think I can add value to you by setting up a system where we can park people more efficiently, right? Where they're not just doing what they want to do and driving all over the place and parking on ends and doing this and that. We could actually have a system. And then they go, wow, Mark, that's a great idea. Why don't you go ahead and implement that? And I said, okay, good. That's life, right? So if you approach a business owner, approach them not with the problem. You approach them, say, look, this is a problem that most business owners are dealing with right now. And I'm picking on restaurant business because that's what I did. So if I go into a restaurant, I say, listen, here's a problem most people are dealing with, guys. Back in the day, everybody bought Coke, right? Everybody got a Coke or a Pepsi when they went out to eat. Everybody had a cocktail, right? They came out, everybody bought a bottle of wine. But guess what? Numbers have dropped on stuff like that. Because why? Because now everybody wants water with lemon. So what is your options when somebody comes in here and says, I want water with lemon? Well, you can sell them a Pellegrino, right? Which costs you money. So now the restaurant owner is buying cases of San Pellegrino, or they're buying cases of Saratoga water, or they're buying all this, which costs them money. In order to upcharge it, they still got to give them a glass. They still got to cut lemons. They still got all this labor involved, right? Why not invest one time, $2,500 in a system that's going to give these people living, alive water, right? We can set it up right in the service area. You can fill up pitchers of water. They can, or whatever. We can get big like gallon jugs with a lid on it, whatever. We can even get one of them 5-gallon like Polar water, whatever it is, machines, right? And you can have a guy fill up a 5-gallon jug, put the thing on, and then gloop, 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 gloop. Every time somebody wants to get a drink of water, it's ice cold. Throughout one night, you'd probably go through 10 gallons of water. This machine would last X amount of time, but instead of you giving them the water for free, now you can upsell the water for a higher charge. Okay. So these are little things that we can start to do to say, okay, this is a real live business. We add value to people. Okay. So now let me shift gears because I want to make sure I'm staying on track. So let me do a quick recap. First thing is figure out why you're in the business, make a vision, make it plain, write it down. Okay. Do not look back. Okay. Set yourself out a time frame. Remember where you want to be. What does your life look like 3 years from now? It's a result of what you did right today. Okay. So what are you going to do today to set things in motion so that 3 years from now, you're at that goal? Hey, look, if 2.5 years from now, you're not at your goal and it don't even look like your goal's in sight, don't quit. Remember, put your hand to the plow, but don't look back. Don't look back. Don't start looking, oh man, I should have done, because you can't, first of all, you can't plow a straight line if you're distracted. Okay. And a lot of times we get distracted on what other people are doing in the business because you're plowing and you're like, oh man, Pastor Eric just did that, or so-and-so just closed a school deal, or Brian just did a $100,000 show again. And I just did a show and I sold 1 unit, who cares? You're focused on you. You got to stay focused straight out. This is me, like a horse in a horse race, put the blinders on, right? Oh, so-and-so quit my business and now they're selling the magic pill, or whatever. Who cares? Now they're putting gas additives in their car. I don't really care about any of that stuff. People come in, people go. People come in, people go. But those who stick and stay, they get the pay, right? So you're gonna watch it. It's like a dog who sheds its hair, right? I mean, you're gonna get, man, my dog got a beautiful coat, but it's shedding hair all the time. Guess what? He still got a beautiful coat. He still has a nice coat, even though he sheds all the time. Sometimes shedding is healthy. Sometimes pruning a plant is what actually makes it grow. You ever think of that? Like when I'm growing my basil tree, I'll be honest with you, I had Genovese basil, which I love, and then I had Thai basil, which I really don't like. And so when I was growing the two, I said, man, I'm gonna cut that Thai basil way down because I really don't like it, and I'm gonna like be very sparingly with my Genovese basil because I had 2 nice big leaves on it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna cut that because I want to save it for when I make pasta or something nice, right? Well, what happened was I'm cutting on that Genovese basil every day, or the Thai basil every day, and the thing's still growing. Like I'm talking, I started that plant when? Back in April. Listen to this, guys. I started this plant back in April. I'm cutting it. And it's getting fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller. And then I said, that's it. I'm pulling this plant out. So I pulled it out. I cut the roots off of it. Like took a scissor, cut the roots off, took it out. I have a little arrow garden. And then I said, well, I'm going to just use up this basil because I want to get rid of it. So I took it in a solo cup, put water in it. 3 weeks later, it's got roots on it again. It's because I've been pruning it so much. I should have been pruning the rest. I should have been pruning my Genovese basil down. And I probably have a great big tree right now, but I didn't. It died. It died because I never cut it. It grew 2 big long stems with 4 flowers on, 4 plant things on top, and never did anything. I should have been cutting it. So guess what? People are going to come into your business. That's fine. Some people come in and they give you so much grief and aggravation that if you could just cut it, they go away and it makes room for the one who's been underneath that person begging for help. Right? Sometimes we have to clear cut the forest a little bit, right? We can go in, we can take out this big tall tree that's just nothing but trouble. And then below it, 6 little trees that just been looking for some sunlight, right? So people are going to come in, people are going to go, that's okay. Some of you go, man, my sponsor quit. Who cares? Because guess what? You didn't join the business because of your sponsor. You joined the business because you saw an opportunity, right? So if your sponsor quit, guess what that means to you? That means now you can take that position. You can be the leader that God called you to be. You can run your own team. You can do things the way you want to do it. I've never built my business on my upline. Oh man, my upline, is so, who cares? Honestly, like I've had businesses where people go, they quit the business, they don't like their upline. I know. I mean, honestly, I've had people I like, people I don't like. But my business starts at me, and then it goes down from there. So I'm the one who has to set the standard for my business. So you have to look at your business, and you say my business starts at me, Mena and Greg, right? So you two, you say like, this is my business. Catherine, this is my business. Don't look at your sponsor. Don't look at me. Don't look at Pastor Eric or Mike. You say, Catherine, say, I'm going to start today. I'm going to run my business this way. I'm going to book healthy home shows. I'm going to lead the charge. And look, and if you go, man, I really want to do a healthy home show, but Mark and Christina were in Florida and they just couldn't come over to my house and do it, then you're waiting on me to build your business when you should take ownership of your business today and go out and do it. All my job is now is to give you guys the tools for success. Listen, we made a video. We spent money on the video. Mike Jackson and Pastor Eric and I and some leaders in the team just made a brand new video that's getting ready to come out. It's really high quality. The corporate office is throwing all kind of free stuff at you guys to do HHSs. They're paying us better than any other company I've ever seen pay. They've reduced the cost of the equipment, so now you can buy it for cheaper. Okay, so these are all things that you have to look at and say, we're doing everything that we can do to make you successful. Listen, when they came out with a healthy home show package, the inflation relief package that they came out with, the real one, the first one, I didn't like it, and I petitioned corporate and they got it changed so that you could be a host again. That's what I did. That was my contribution to your success. So if you say, well, man, Mark's not helping me. No, I'm helping you. I believe me, I paved the major road for you. So then now you can jump on there and host the HHS and go out and make some money, right? You can do it all over again. You can be a host. You can do it virtually. You can do it in person. You can set it up in a back room of a Panera Bread if you want to. You can get 8, 10 people together. You can play the video that we made. You can close on the business or close on retail wholesale. Totally up to you. And you go out and you can actually make some money. Debbie Stutzman in my business bought her and her son both bought 6 packs, and they've sold 10 of the units through Healthy Home Showcases. That's $10,000 income off of those packs because of the way the sale was. Already they've made $10,000 off of those units. I don't see any points from Debbie, but guess what? Debbie's making money. Do you think Debbie's happy? Yes, she's happy. Do you think she's telling people about it? Yes, she's telling people about it. You think she's taking vacations? She never, and using that money to travel and to live her life and do what she wants? Absolutely 100%. So it works.
Make it people every guest RSVP because they're going to get a pet refresh. And
so Christina's like saying, just make sure that people RSVP to you because they're going to get a free pet refresh, right? So listen, we're going to give you $100 gift. I'm pre-buying it, but I need to make sure you're going to be there because you can't have no shows. Like, we've got to get serious about this. Like, if you come and then make them bring something, I always just say, make them bring a bag of ice. Because you can just throw it out in the backyard and it melts, right? So you don't have a refrigerator full of ice. But hey, look, hey, Doug, can you come over? Yeah, great. I need you to bring a bag of ice. I need to make sure that you're going to be here. I'm counting on you to be here. I'm actually going to give you a free $100 item just for showing up. Doesn't cost you a dime. Okay, it costs me money, but it's not going to cost you nothing. So please show up. I need to know that I can count on you. I mean, don't tell me that you missed the bus or you get stuck behind a train or anything like that. Don't give me some excuse. I need to make sure that you're going to be here. Are you my friend? Yeah, great. Can I count on you to be here? Yeah. This is so important to me. I'm launching. Dan asked me a question the other day, which is, I think this is something I want to address, is he said that, well, people will ask me, they say, well, how much money have you made and how long have you been in the business? First of all, that's none of your business. Okay, so if somebody asks me that, I say, look, you're not the right person for this business because you don't see opportunity. Don't base your success on what I've done, because I can tell you I made $3 million in this business, but you're not, because I know you won't be able to do that, right? Or I could tell you that I know people in this business who've been in 3 years, haven't made a dime, but you're not, because I know you and I know you're gonna do way better than that. So what difference does it make what I've made? What difference does it make? Don't base your success on what I've done or what I haven't done, right? You know, you have access to people that I don't have access to. You have a sphere of influence that I don't have, okay? And then the next step is say, but I've been looking at this business for a year now. I've been vetting it. I know that this is the right thing. I've watched it. I've seen people get in the first year, make 80, 90,000. I've watched people make 180,000. I've watched people make 3 million in their very first year in the business. So I know for a fact that this is where I want to run. I've watched this business evolve from just being an air because of the pandemic to being air, water, laundry, nutritional, all this kind of stuff. And I know that this is where I want to be. So this is my launch date, even though I joined. So I joined 2 years ago, but I'm launching today. This is my launch date, but I need some runners who are willing to run with me so we can go get this thing. Okay. So the very last thing I'm going to leave you with is this. Is that right now there's a major promotion going on for Subscribe and Save. Just get on a subscription this month, cancel it for next month, take advantage of these opportunities that corporate's throwing out there, right? Get on subscription, even if it's for recoup. You know, it's not going to cost you much, but it's worth it in the long haul. I have right now 16 people on. It's revival week at our church for students. So I'm sure that there's a lot of people who would love to be on, but they're tied up. So they're going to watch the replay. That's fine. Get on a subscription. Pick an item. Just try it out. See if you like it. See how your body feels whenever you use it. Become a product of the product. Listen, I say this all the time. I have to get 200 points every month. That's my obligation as a gold and above. I need 200 points every month. And my biggest dilemma has been that all my points are already paid for because I have customers who buy the nutritional products as a preferred customer through me. I just had an order come in today and I had one come in the other day. One came in today for 163 points and the other one today was probably over 100 points. So right now I don't even need to put an order in, but I'm going to because I love the product. Why is it that there's people who aren't even in the business who love the product, who buy it on a monthly basis, but yet people on my own team are not buying on an auto ship every month? Why? Because they don't believe in it. So get your belief level up to here, like take it from your brain, bring it down into your heart, believe in the company, believe in the opportunity. And I'm telling you right now, where you'll be 3 years from now is not where you're at today. If you just take these little steps and you do it, you're going to have success. So I'm going to say a quick blessing for you. So Father God, I thank you for everybody who's on this call. I pray for increase and overflow, that between now and the end of this year, that every goal that they have will be accomplished in your name, Lord, that they seek first your kingdom and your righteousness, and all these things will be added unto them. I pray blessings on each and every one of them in Jesus' name. Now listen, guys, if you want to do, if you're in the Florida area and you want to do a Healthy Home Show, reach out to Christina. Let's get it booked because I'm going back to Pennsylvania at the end of this month. So I only have 3 weeks and then I'm gone for a month and a half. Okay. Then when we go to PA, we have a one little window in September right now that we can fill in. Okay. So there you have it. Looking forward to seeing you all here, and I'm going to go ahead and let you go because it's 12 noon. No call tonight from me. I did put a link to my replay. I'm helping a friend out who's in Venezuela, asked me to help him out this week, so I can't be on tonight. But you can do my replay, get people on it. No excuses, guys. Go out and grow your business. I'm looking forward to seeing some big numbers come in this week. All right. So bless you guys. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Bye.
Bless you guys. Love you.
Bless you.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, that's great.
Bye, Christina and Mark.
Good to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.